my name is Savannah Krill, and my topic for this is antibiotic therapy. Antibiotic therapy is the use of antibiotics to treat or prevent infections caused by bacteria. How they work is that they kill or inhibit the bacteria from growing, and so that they can't cause infection, or if there is already infection, they kill the bacteria that is causing it. Antibiotics can be taken by mouth injection or as a cream or ointment for skin infections. Some common antibiotics are penicillin, tetracyclines, and cephalosporins. Antibiotics can only be used to treat bacterial infections. They can't be used to treat viral infections caused by viruses, such as the common cold or the flu. So antibiotics are obviously very important in helping people, but they are often prescribed incorrectly, which in turn leads to the emergence of antibiotic resistant microorganisms. So this misuse would cause microorganisms to evolve and develop the ability to negate the effects of antibiotics. So if you get an infection for something, say like it's staph, and an antibiotic has been used a lot for that certain infection, the bacteria can then develop the ability to live even though it's been treating with that antibiotic. So the antibiotic wouldn't work, so you'd have to try a new different antibiotic. So some implications of antibiotic resistance or misuse of or overuse. So the WHO, the World Health Organization, recognizes this as a global concern and has stated that human deaths due to antibiotic resistance is actually higher than those due to diseases, even such as HIV. So, as I said, this antibiotic or antimicrobial resistance leads to infections that are harder to treat, treatment failure, and increased hospital time and even death. It is estimated by 2050 that this antibiotic resistance, will cause the death of 10 million people and a cost of $100 trillion, which is a lot. So some of the causes of this misuse is antibiotics are often prescribed and used incorrectly. So they are prescribed when they shouldn't be. Physicians may get pressured into, wanting to give an antibiotic to something that's for a viral disease because maybe the patient has like a fever, and or they want to make sure that the patient feels like they're being treated. Some main factors of overprescribing are insufficient time, so not enough time to properly diagnose their patient, difference in knowledge levels among doctors. So some doctors may have a better understanding of the antibiotics should be treated for bacterial infections and not just given out for any little thing. Patients with fever, as I said, a pressure to give patients medicine, and a fear of complications. Self-medicating by patients is also a major part of this. They're able to get over-the-counter antibiotics when using them for things that they shouldn't be used for. They think this antibiotic helps with this, but it really doesn't. Let's see. So antibiotics are also used besides for health, they're also used in livestock and agriculture. They're used as growth promoters in livestock and used to kill infections on crops. It's around 24.6 million pounds are used in livestock farming. And these antibiotics that are given to animals and crops are also harmful to humans, because animals, obviously, given this antibiotics, their manure is used in crops, and also have antibiotics on the crops. It leaks into the soil, and it ends up in like groundwater, and it's even been found in the marine ecosystem, like trace amounts of these antibiotics. So this image here kind of shows the levels that the antibiotics go through. So you get the pharmaceutical compounds, you get like the manufacturing industries who produce antibiotics, and then they go to these different places. So they go to industrial effluents, hospitals. They end up in landfills, and a lot of this, landfills end up in the soil, and then those end up in groundwater. You got like wastewater treatment plants. They end up in surface water. Sewage. They end up in sewage, obviously. So and then goes to the septic tank, goes into the surface water, which results into drinking water. And obviously, they it's not these trace amounts of antibiotics are not able to be filtered out completely, so they end up in everyday people's drinking water, and that can also lead to antibiotic resistance because you're taking in trace amounts of these antibiotics without knowing it. And then you have like the farming aspect of this, like crops, animal waste ends up in the soil, and then you got antibiotics on the vegetables and the crops that people eat, obviously. So with this, there's obviously no complete way to prevent this problem because bacteria are constantly evolving to these drugs. But there are some ways to kind of help prevent this. Obviously it would be education on antibiotics, and or raising awareness to like everyday people that hey, maybe you shouldn't take these antibiotics when you don't need them. Um, had limitation on use in all levels, like livestock and in hospitals, not prescribing them for every little thing. Better water treatment, filtration. Some other ones are developing of new antibiotic compounds. So while there's no complete way to stop it, there are some ways to help get a better understanding of what's going on. Okay, and this is all my sources, and thank you.